Title: The Last Save. Chapter 1: The Disc. In the summer of 2004, the sun cast long golden rays over the suburban sprawl of Cedar Hollow, a quiet town that lived and breathed routine. Teenagers roamed the cracked sidewalks on bikes, the scent of barbecue lingered in the air, and the ever-present hum of cicadas gave rhythm to lazy days. For 17-year-old Alex Mercer, it was a summer like any other, until he walked into a thrift shop on Maple Street. The place was a time capsule of outdated electronics, dusty VHS tapes, faded books, and clothes from decades past. Alex wasn't looking for anything in particular. He liked browsing secondhand stores, hoping to find something strange or cool, something that hinted at a forgotten story. On that day, he found it, a battered CD case hidden under a stack of floppy disks. There was no cover art. The plastic was scratched and fogged, and inside lay a CD with no official markings, just one message scrawled in thick black marker: "Don't play alone." Alex felt a chill despite the heat outside. "Hey, how much for this?" he asked the clerk, an elderly man with thick glasses and a raspy voice. The man barely glanced at the disc. $2. But if it doesn't work, no refunds. Alex nodded, paid, and left, unaware that the moment he put the disc in his backpack, something in the world shifted. That night, curiosity got the better of him. In his room, walls plastered with band posters and shelves crowded with game cases, he slid the disc into his PC. The screen flickered. Static. Then the title appeared in crimson letters against a black background. Hollow Child. The menu had only one option: continue. Frowning, Alex clicked it. The game began immediately, no intro, no tutorial. A small figure stood in the middle of a fog-covered village. The graphics were uncanny, too smooth, too detailed for something unknown and presumably old. The child had no face. The village was silent. And Alex couldn't look away. Chapter 2: The Village. The game opened in a third-person view behind the child character. Dense gray fog rolled through narrow streets lined with decaying cottages and overgrown weeds. The soundscape was barely there: distant wind, a creak of an unseen sign, the crunch of gravel under bare feet. Alex pressed forward. The child obeyed. He tried doors, every one locked. Windows were dark. There were no objectives, no HUD, no map. Just fog and decay. In the only house with an open door, Alex found a handwritten note on the kitchen table. "I'm still here. I can't leave until someone saves me." He stared at the screen. It looked like real ink soaked into yellowed paper. The child didn't speak. But every time Alex moved him, the camera tilted unnaturally, as if someone else was watching. With each session, the village changed. One evening, a house was missing entirely. Another time, the path behind the church led to a dead end instead of a field. A mirror in the village square reflected not the child, but Alex's room. Once, after a restart, the child stood motionless. Then, in Alex's own voice, it whispered, "Stop watching me." He yanked off his headphones. He checked the system. No microphone access. No voice recognition. Still, the game knew. Chapter 3: The Watcher. Days passed. Alex stopped playing other games. He barely ate, barely slept. Every time he turned on his PC, Hollow Child was there, always the same option: continue. He thought about uninstalling it. He even tried. But the system didn't recognize it as an installed application. There was no folder, no executable, nothing in program files. Only the disk remained. He broke it in half. The next morning, it was whole again, lying neatly on his desk. That night, the child in the game was waiting at the village's edge. A new path had opened, a narrow alley between two buildings that had never been there before. With growing dread, Alex guided the child down it. They arrived at a long-abandoned schoolhouse. The windows were boarded up, but one door was ajar. Inside, chalkboards covered in cryptic writing lined the walls. Children's drawings hung skewed, like they had been slashed. On the teacher's desk sat another note. He's watching me through the glass. But the glass is broken now. Alex's reflection flickered on the monitor, just for a second. He blinked and it was gone. Later, as he brushed his teeth, the bathroom mirror briefly showed not his reflection, but the faceless child standing behind him. He screamed. His parents came running, but the mirror was normal again. He tried sleeping with the lights on. It didn't help. When he closed his eyes, he heard footsteps in the hallway. But no one was ever there. One night, the child in the game didn't move. Instead, a new prompt appeared on the screen. Turn around. Alex froze. He didn't want to, but his body moved on its own. Behind him, his monitor had gone black. In white letters, it read, I see you. Chapter 4, The Room. Alex didn't remember falling asleep, yet he awoke at his desk, face against the keyboard, the monitor glowing faintly. Hollow Child was running. The screen displayed something new, the child standing in front of a house with a cracked wooden sign that read, Alex's room. He swallowed hard. This wasn't part of the village before. The camera panned behind the character, who now hesitated at the doorstep, just like Alex. He reached for the mouse. Clicked forward. The door opened. Inside, the game rendered an almost perfect replica of his bedroom. Same curtains, same posters, same crooked lamp on the desk. The only difference, everything looked older. Dustier. As if it had been abandoned for years. The child stepped in. A computer sat at the desk in the room, screen glowing. On it, a figure moved, someone sitting, hunched, hands on the keyboard. The camera slowly zoomed. It was Alex. Not the child. Not a model. Him. His in-game self turned its head, locking eyes with the real Alex through the screen. I told you, it said. Don't play alone. The screen went black. Alex staggered back from the desk, breath caught in his throat. He tried to shut off the PC, yank out the plug, but it wouldn't turn off. The power button did nothing. Suddenly, the monitor flickered. Words appeared. Saving. The last save, complete. Below it, a countdown began, 00:10. 00:09. He backed away, fear pounding in his chest. At 0:01, the screen blinked. And showed him, again. Standing in the room, holding the unplugged power cord. Except he wasn't moving. He was frozen. As if stuck in time. The camera pulled back. Out the window. Into the village. A new note appeared on the screen. He stayed too long. Now he's part of the save. The game restarted. The menu screen returned. Still just one option. Continue. But now, the child in the background wore Alex's clothes. Chapter 5, The Messages. Alex didn't return to his computer for 2 days. He stayed downstairs, slept on the couch, kept the TV running just to drown out the silence. But the hum of the unplugged PC haunted him from the floor above. No matter how hard he tried to ignore it, his thoughts drifted back to the game. Then the messages started. It began with a phone notification, your turn. Sent from his own number. He showed his parents. They assumed it was a prank, maybe one of his friends messing with him. But when he logged into his email, there it was again. Why did you stop playing? He's still waiting. No sender. He shut the laptop. The next day, all his devices synced automatically. His phone's background changed to a screenshot from the game, the moment before the countdown reached 0. His own frozen figure, face pale and empty, trapped behind the glass. Alex threw the phone out his window. It was on his desk the next morning. He knew what he had to do. If he didn't finish this, if that was even possible, it wouldn't stop. Whatever Hollow Child was, it had burrowed into his life, stitched itself into his reality. He booted up the computer. Continue. Click. This time, the child stood outside a new location, a decrepit library covered in ivy and broken windows. The doors opened as he approached. Inside, walls of dusty books surrounded a central table. On it lay a black notebook with his name embossed in gold. He opened it. Every page was filled with moments from his life, birthdays, hospital visits, the time he broke his arm at 8 years old. Memories only he could know. At the last page, one line stood out. "We remember everything you tried to forget." The game whispered through the speakers. "He's almost ready." Alex typed into the game, something he hadn't tried before. "Who is he?" A response came instantly. "He is the first save. The one who finished. The one who stayed." What does he want? Company. The screen pulsed. The lights in Alex's room flickered. And from the corner of the library, a door opened into darkness. He had no choice now. He stepped inside. Chapter 6, continue? The screen faded into shadow. Alex guided the child, or was it himself now, through the black corridor. There were no textures, no lighting. Just void, like the game had emptied itself out. A single ambient hum vibrated softly, like distant power lines in the dark. Then, light. A doorway appeared at the end of the hall. Behind it, a room that mirrored the library, but stripped of life. No books. No windows. Only a mirror. Large, old, with a cracked frame. In the center stood a figure. It turned around. Alex. Not quite. This version of him had no eyes, no mouth, just smooth skin, blank as the child's face had been. Still, it smiled. "Welcome back," it said in a voice too layered, like many Alexes speaking at once. "What is this place?" Alex asked. His voice didn't echo. "The final save." The clone extended a hand. The mirror behind it shimmered, not as a reflection, but a passage. A scene flickered within Alex's house, his parents searching, calling his name. Time had passed. "You left a space open," the thing said. "You continued. You became the next." Alex backed away. "I didn't agree to this. I just played. You finished. You saw it through." The first one waited. Now he's free. The mirror image shifted. Another boy stood behind the glass. Pale. Early 2000s clothing. Hollow eyes. Watching. Smiling. The figure that looked like Alex turned to the mirror and stepped through it. The boy vanished. And now, the reflection showed only Alex, alone in the room. The game screen pulsed. A final message appeared. "New game available, player 2. Alex screamed, but no sound came out. He wasn't in his room anymore. He wasn't in the game either. He was somewhere between. His PC beeped upstairs. Back in the real world, his parents found only the disc sitting on his empty chair. The screen was black. Only one option. Continue?